I got back from Colorado earlier today, and I agreed to dinner. Agreed to dinner with somebody I know, even though I honestly wanted a quiet night alone to catch up on unpacking and, my email and stuff, getting back to people. So the bar we went to, it was nearly empty. A stranger sat immediately beside us. So the bar almost completely empty, then a woman sits down to my left, and my friend's on my right. And so this stranger, this woman, starts talking, and gradually she takes over the whole evening. For about half an hour, I'm sitting between two women speaking across and over me, like George Costanza trapped inside some weird social experiment. The person I came to see for dinner later apologized and said she couldn't get out of the conversation. But that was the strange part when I thought about it. Getting out required just one sentence at any time. Some variation of "nice meeting you, but my friend just got back into town from Colorado, and we need to catch up." Instead of ignoring me for half an hour to talk to some boomer about how much money this boomer has and how much she travels, braggadocio stuff, great, but you came to dinner with me. If you want to just meet people, that's fine. And of course, I don't mind you talking to somebody else, but the whole evening you talked over me and ignored me as if I was not even there. That's strange behavior. And I wasn't in a bad mood. I wasn't being avoidant. I was in a good mood. I was in a good post-travel mood. What bothered me here wasn't merely the boredom. It was becoming peripheral, becoming total periphery for somebody else. And I don't have main character syndrome. I don't expect to be the center of the room. I don't expect to be the center of attention. But when you come to dinner with me and then you ignore me to talk to somebody you just met, and then you apologize later, and I've experienced that pattern before, where someone creates sudden intimacy with a stranger they've met by treating me as scenery or social currency or a person to be discussed in the third person. "Oh, David used to be very interesting. He was on Joe Rogan and he made a lot of money from Bitcoin," talking about me as if I'm not even in the same room as you. Like I'm just some autistic little bellflower who's going to bend over to you misusing me right while I'm there. It's kind of weird to experience. Being used as scenery or a person to be discussed, again, the third person, like I'm just some autiste who can't speak for myself. And then a family member, unfortunately, did this to me too. A family member who's known me for my entire life seems no longer willing to engage with me at full resolution on any of the topics I'm interested in. When I talk about AI, he says he doesn't understand it. Maybe he's being literally truthful. When I talk about my travel, he doesn't understand it. What don't you understand? I get in a plane and I go somewhere new. What's there not to understand about it? Maybe you just don't like me. Maybe you just don't want my updates. Oh, you should have just said that. It's actually a burden for me to update you. I'm very busy. That's not me making it up. I'm actually quite busy. So if I'm updating you on the personals of my life because you're in my family and you resent that, just let me know. Why waste my time? Why waste your time? But more importantly, why waste mine? So he'll send me an Obama meme, and I'm thinking Obama has been out of office for nearly a decade. I'm trying to tell you what is happening in my life. I'm trying to tell you what is genuinely important to me. And you just say that I'm some tech bro and that money changed me. Money changed me? What money? I've lost millions of dollars this year from Trump manipulating the oil markets. And before that, the tariff shit that hit all the chip stocks at all the wrong moments, unless you're one of Trump's insiders, which I, of course, was not. Now, I still have plenty, but lost millions of dollars this year. So the fact you don't hear me complaining about that very often, I don't define myself by how much money I have. I've had a lot, I've had a little, and I'm perfectly happy with anything in between. Obviously, being broke sucks. But when you have money, I don't really notice a difference between $500,000 and, say, 5 or 10 million. I genuinely don't notice that much difference in quality of life upgrade. And I know that sounds silly until you have that amount of money yourself, then you'll agree with me. Because beyond a certain point, it makes no difference. So to say I'm a tech bro and I'm motivated by money when it makes no difference to me, actually I was the happiest of my life when I was living in Denver about 9 years ago. Not making very much money at all, but the YouTube channel was on fire, and I had a few friends, and I had some peers that I could record with who actually understood who I was and who I am as a person, people who didn't reduce me to some low resolution, "Oh, you're just a tech bro. Money changed you." I never sold out. How could money have changed me? I never took the big check to stay quiet about Pizzagate. I never took the big check to distract you guys from the Epstein files when Trump is up up in the Epstein files up to his fucking neck. The guy practically is Jeffrey Epstein. He's into it up to his neck. More than 1 million references to Trump in the Epstein files. Why is our president mentioned 1 million times in these pedophile monsters' emails and files? That's the question the public needs to address. So I don't need everybody out there to agree with me. I don't need admiration from a single one of you. But I do need people close to me to remain curious enough to perceive me accurately. If you're so, Matt Walshed out that you don't even see me as a fucking person anymore, you're just a tech bro. You're just driven by money. Actually, I don't like pedophiles. Actually, I don't like being betrayed by pedophiles owned by foreign interests. That Epstein shit should have been prosecuted the day it came out. So that's where I stand on things, folks. I don't understand it, and I don't like it. To reduce me to this low-resolution object, or to come out to dinner with me and then you just talk over me to talk to some stranger, or you drop facts about my life in a room of people we don't know just so it makes you look cool. Like, oh, you know the former podcaster. Okay, cool. I'm not saying people need to treat me better. I'm saying, again, if you come to me and you take up my time and you don't even bother to get to know who I am, or if you've known me for my whole life and you reduce me to this nonsensical caricature, that's not good behavior, and you're going to see much less of me. Whereas the rest of the world, they're going to see a lot more. I think this attempt to constantly humble me when I'm doing very well, and constantly silence me when I have a huge fucking YouTube channel, and constantly belittle me when I feel fine about where I am and where I'm going in life, I think it might backfire. I'm going to speak to you guys so much over the next few months that you're going to get sick of this voice. You're going to get sick of my voice. You're going to get sick of my opinions. Some of you are going to unsubscribe. Some of you are going to write comments on the internet about what a dumb shit I am. And that's so much better than standing here silent like some retarded George Costanza as two women talk over me, or as a family member reduces me to some Mark Zuckerberg wannabe, when that's not who I am at all. You guys are going to find out who I am. Stay tuned.